You can notice that when someone speaks Vietnamese, they sound like a song. Why is that? Because in Vietnamese we have 6 tones. They are không dấu, without tone, dấu sắc, rising tone, dấu huyền, falling tone, dấu nặng, falling broken tone, dấu ngã, rising broken tone, dấu hỏi, falling air broken tone. Here I have a word with 6 different tones. Now let's hear how I pronounce these words. Ma, 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 ma. Again. Ma, 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 ma. The rising tone. Now let's see how my students pronouncing the rising tone. I'm sure that you guys already know about the musical notes that are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So when you say a word without tone, for example, here I have the word ca, you are on the sol note. To make the rising tone, you have to raise the voice to the do notes. For example, here we have the word ca. Okay, let's compare again. A word without tone, ca, and a word with the rising tone, ca. You have to raise the voice from the sol note to the do note to make the rising tone. Let's compare again. Ca, ca. Another example here, I have the word ma without tone on the sol note and the word ma with rising tone on the do notes again. Ma, ma. Now let's try to say some paired words. The first word is without tone, and the second one is with the rising tone. Ta, ta. Ma, ma. Mơ, mớ. Ly, lý. Cam, cám. Tâm, tấm. Tươi, tưới. Chuối, chuối. Sương, sướng. Sông, sống. Nước, mắm. Uống nước. Khó tính. Lấp lánh. Bún cá. Bách thích uống nước đá. Ánh đến nhà chú Đức lấy nước mắm. The falling tone. Now let's see how my student pronouncing the falling tone. So when you say a word without tone, you are on the sol note. To make the falling tone in Vietnamese, you have to lower your voice to the do notes. For example, here I have the word ca without tone. Now let's make your voice a little bit lower to the do notes. We have the word ca. Let's compare again. Ca without tone and ca falling tone. Again. Ca, ca. Another example here we have the word ma without tone and the word ma falling tone. So to make the falling tone in Vietnamese, you have to lower your voice from the sol notes to the do notes. Again, ca, ca, ma, ma. Now let's try to say some paired words. The first word is without tone, and the second one is with the falling tone. Ba, bà. Ma, mà. Mơ, mờ. Đâu, đầu. Con, còn. Đan, đàn. Tâm, tầm. Tiên, tiền. Tâm, tầm. Thân, thần. phàn nàn, đàn gà, buồn phiền, lần đầu, về nhà, mùa hè, bàn là, mùa hè, hà, về nhà bà, buồn phiền vì nhiều tiền. Following broken tone. Now let's see how my student producing dấu nặng following broken tone.
Ca, cá,
Mm-hmm.
cà, cá. La, lá, là, lá. Đập, hợp, lập, đập.
We are gonna start with a word without tone that we are on the sol note. Then you have to make your voice a little bit lower to the do notes, like the falling tone. And the focal point here is you have to cut off the sound immediately. And at the moment you're cutting off the sound, you make the falling broken tone. So you begin with making your voice a little bit lower, then immediately cut off the sound by closing your vocal cords to make the falling broken tone. For example, here I have the word ca without tone. Now I'm going to make my voice a little bit lower to the do notes. And we have the word ca, falling tone. Now I'm going to say the falling tone again. Then I'm going to immediately cut off the sound to make the falling broken tone, like ca, ca. The moment I cut off the sound, I got the falling broken tone. Again, ca without tone, ca, falling tone, and ca, falling broken tone. Again, ca without tone, ca, falling tone, and ca, falling broken tone. Now let's practice saying the falling broken tone by saying the falling tone, then immediately cut off the sound by strongly closing your vocal cords. The moment you're cutting off the sound, you will get the falling broken tone. One thing I want to say about these falling broken tone is that the falling broken tone make the sound a little bit shorter. Let's take a look at the three tones. We have the word ca. The sound is very long. Ca. The sound is also very long. But the falling broken tone here we have ca. Very short. Now let's try to say some paired words. The first word is with the falling tone, and the second one is with the falling broken tone. Ma, ma, co, mờ, mợ, đầu, đậu, kiềm, kiệm, đàn, đạn, chạy, chạy, tiền, tiện, còng, cọng, truyền, chuyện, tập, chạy, tập, đọc, bộ, đội, tập, hợp, cột, điện, lật đật, lạ mặt, nặng nhọc, cập nhật, mẹ luộc, một chục trứng vịt lộn, Mạnh chạy bộ, gặp chú bộ đội. The rising broken tone. Firstly, I want to show you how one of my students producing the rising broken tone. The rising broken tone, or dấu ngã, is the combination of dấu nặng, low falling broken tone, and dấu sắc, the rising tone. Now let's see how to pronounce the tone. To pronounce the rising broken tone, we have to do 3 steps. First step, when we say a word without tone, we are on sol notes. Now, let's make your voice a little bit lower. Now, the second step, immediately cut off the sound, like we are making the low-falling broken tone. And on the last step, raise the voice a little bit to the do notes. And the way you combine 3 steps together, that you're making the rising broken tone. Let me give you an example here. I have the word ca without tone. Now I'm gonna make my voice a little bit lower, then immediately cut off the sound. I have the word ca. It's the low-falling broken tone. Now on the last step, I'm gonna raise my voice to the do notes, and we have ca. I'm gonna do it a little bit more slowly so that you can feel the sound. Ca, ca, ca. Now let's do it a little bit faster, like the normal speed. We have ca, ca, ca. So the first step, make your voice a little bit lower, then cut off the sound immediately, like the low-falling broken tone. Then raise the voice a little bit to the do notes. I want to say that the rising broken tone is very complicated for non-native speakers who want to speak Vietnamese with a northern accent. But I think you can see that my students get successful with the tones in Vietnamese just in a month. So I hope you can do it. Now let's try to say some paired up words. The first word is with the low-falling broken tone, and the second one is the rising broken tone. Ma, mã, mợ, mỡ, vợ, vỡ, phụ, phũ, mạnh, mãnh, tiện, tiễn, vọng, võng, cọng, cõng, lội, lỗi, lã, chã, mũ, cũ, nghĩ, kỹ, mãi, mãi, đũa, cũ, dũng, mãnh, cũ, kỹ, cãi, vã, hãy nghĩ cho kỹ. The falling air broken tone. The falling air broken tone is one of the most complicated things in Vietnamese for non-native speakers who want to speak Vietnamese with a northern accent. Now let's see how one of my students producing the falling air broken tone. The falling air broken tone, dấu hỏi, is produced by combining an air with the low falling broken tone. Now let's see how to make the falling air broken tone, dấu hỏi. We're gonna start by a word without tones. We are on the sol note. Now you're preparing to make your voice a little bit lower and push a air out of the mouth like you're slightly coughing. And then immediately cut off the sound at the end to make the falling air broken tone. I'm going to give you an example here. I have the word ca without tone. Now I'm going to push a air out of my mouth and immediately cut off the sound. I'm going to do it a little bit slowly so that you can feel the sound. Ca, ca, ca. Now I'm gonna do it a little bit faster, so it sounds a little bit more naturally. Ca, ca, ca. Let's practice saying some paired up words. The first word is with the low falling broken tone, and the second one is with the falling air broken tone. Ma, ma, ka, ka, ma, ma. Mộ, mộ, vợ, vợ, phụ, phụ, nội, nội, mạnh, mạnh, chạy, chạy, cộng, cộng, củ cải, mở cửa, nhổ cỏ, bảo thủ, thủ thỉ, tỉ mỉ, sủi cảo, thảo, cẩn thận, mở cửa sổ. Okay, you've done very well. If you want to bring a smile into my face, you can support me by the link in the description. Thank you for watching.